sister. And so I'm in a Caddilac CTSV Wagon. That's about 680 horsepower at the crank.
That's a 60.
Hi, my name's Jason Woods. Welcome to Chasing the Apex. I'm here with Raul, and I'm in an absolute monster. So what a better way to follow up the ZL1 than get in its more refined brother or sister. And so I'm in a Caddilac CTSV Wagon. That's about 680 horsepower at the crank.
Yeah, it's a 680 at the crank. It's a 2012 wagon. It's I love this car. It took me about a year to find this car in a manual transmission, and it fit the bill for everything. Having a newborn, I needed something with 4 doors that I could have fun with, but yet take my daughter out in.
Okay. So you guys, if you can't hear us, it's because we have the air conditioning going, because it's like 410 degrees outside. I think what he's really saying when he say he had a newborn is he was trying to con his spouse into letting him have a muscle car.
Yeah, she made me get rid of my motorcycle, so I needed something fun to drive, and as long as it had 4 doors, my wife is okay with it.
That's a good con, man. If I could get away with it, I would. So my initial responses are, I love this wheel, by the way. Where did you get this?
I actually ordered it online through a manufacturer who takes the existing steering wheel and then reupholsters it with carbon fiber and Alcantara.
God, that sound is amazing. I really like this. I mean, I really do. It's a very nice size. And so the pedal placement in here is amazing as well. It's not like off-center like you get in American cars. And the pedal placement's like from here to the moon.
It's American size.
Yeah, this is very nice. This is very almost European in that it's very close together. And you can feel that. So when you heel toe or you're trail braking, it's very close together. It's designed to drive, and that's very nice. God, this thing is powerful. And it's so nimble, Raul. I mean, have you done any suspension work with this?
It's still the stock magnetic suspension, but the car feels a lot lighter than it really is.
No, it feels absolutely light. I mean, this is very nimble. It transitions well. And you really don't have to dance through the gears because of all that torque. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've taken it to the Guinness-Seca, and I just pretty much keep it in 3rd gear the whole time.
I could see that. I could see that indeed. But you can feel like, I mean, at least I do. I feel like, man, if I take it for granted that this is easy, it's going to hurt me, and it's going to hurt me bad. Would that be accurate? It's
gentle and forgiving to a point, but once you start pushing, the car likes to dance and it'll start to slide, but it tells you what it's doing.
It tells you can feel that.
It's nothing sudden, no sudden snap oversteer. It's very forgiving.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, because I don't want to die. And I'm really taken off guard by how light it feels, I'll be honest with you. At this point, I mean, you've been with Chasing the Apex, or, and an encourager and a supporter from the beginning. And I mean, we've driven so many cars since the beginning of this that, you would think I'd be jaded by now. I'd get in some kind of car and be like, I don't appreciate that. But I think I appreciate them all for what they are. Good God, Raul, do you feel that? I mean, do you feel that as a passenger?
Yes, it just shucks.
Yeah, and it's like, I got in the ZL1, I was like, oh, it's like being propelled by the space shuttle. But this is like really intense. There's so much to go here, and we're not even touching over $3,000 yet. And
it doesn't really start to get going until after like 3.5.
Wow. Well, so I mean, we're doing 80 now. So if I go to 3.5, we're going to be pushing 120, which is really scary. Because, well, we're going to do it anyways if you don't mind.
Hey, you're the driver.
God, that's holding. Through that long sweeper, it just holds. It holds in place. Jiminy God! That's really impressive. I don't want to push my luck here. We are on public roads. We are on public roads. Jason, you're on a public road. It's intoxicating, man. It just goes forever. And looking at the speedometer, I mean, it goes to 200. I mean, but I think it probably goes to the moon.
Yeah, the best analogy I've heard with the cars is the way the power delivery is like a speed build, it just keeps building.
And I think that's very accurate. Tsunami is very accurate because it doesn't stop. It comes on very light. It's not really abrupt. It doesn't come on like you would imagine it would. You imagine it would be there right now, like in the ZL1. No, this is much more tempered. But you have some money into this, so let's not pretend it's a stock vehicle either.
No, it's a very minimal amount. Just what they call like a basic bolt-on car.
Sure.
Just the intake, exhaust, a pulley, and it's got a flex fuel sensor for ethanol and a tune, and that's it.
God, this is good.
So it's about, I'd say around $6,000 worth of fuel.
Okay, that's really good. And I bet it was probably a beast out of the box.
Yes.
I really like this steering wheel. I like that I don't have to look. I can just kind of find its way, and it just holds, and you can have a very light touch with it. And I really like that. I mean, that's very nice.
The center marker really helps a lot to find the center of the wheel, just corner dry as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But I like that I can feel. I like this piece down here where I can feel it. You know, I don't have to pay much attention to what's going on. I can just focus on what's ahead of me and look through that turn. I really like that. You know, and I really like the big dials. You know, and I said this in the ZL1. The big dials are a big deal because it takes it, you can just look at it at a glance and know what you're doing.
Keep your focus on the road.
Absolutely. You know, and the visibility, this is amazing. And what a con job. I mean, what a con job. You bought, I mean, this is supercar performance in a station wagon. I mean, how did you, I mean, I can see how you pulled it off, but when she gets in it, is she like upset or anything? I mean, she's like, did you hustle me?
No, not at all. I just kept nudging her more and more, upping the budget higher and higher till I could afford this. I originally was going to pick up a WRX or STI.
Okay.
And then for the price of a new one, for about 10 grand more, I could get this used as a certified pre-owned. And I just kept pushing it. And eventually she just finally gave in, and I started my search to find one.
She must love you.
She puts up with me.
Okay, all right. Well, thank her for letting me play with your toy, because I know I'm taking your time, and you know, as a family man, that's very valuable. So this is really neat. I really like that it's a manual transmission, and it's really interesting to get in and see a manual transmission station wagon.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, the Wagon CTSVs came standard as automatics, and to find an actual manual that I wanted took about a year and a half to find, because from the whole production run of 2011 to 2014, they only made about 600 of them.
And you really could tour this. I mean, you really could do like put some serious miles in it.
I've taken it up to Tahoe, taken it to LA, road tripped it, and loved it.
And how's the gas mileage?
Not the greatest.
Not the greatest.
When it was stock and I was coming home from picking it up in Pasadena off of I-5, was the best miles I've ever seen, and that was about 19 miles per gallon.
Okay.
Right now it's about 8 in the city and maybe 12 to 13 on the freeway.
Okay. So you're watching that meter, right? So you're like, it's like dropping, like it's sucking it out of it right away, isn't it?
But it's worth it for the enjoyment it gives me.
Well, that's really what it is, right? People. So final thoughts. I mean, I think the Caddilac CTSV, especially as it's modified here, is just an absolute monster in disguise. Well done. Again, GM, you have made another absolute beast that I wouldn't have suspected was actually a worthwhile driver's car. But here we are, you know, I'm taking it back again. Here is yet another American car that's a wonderful driver. Thanks for watching Chasing the Apex, and we'll see you again next week.